What's up, guys? It has been such a busy 3 days since I did my last video of the fireplace. I guess I should show you guys that what it looks like dried. So basically this is where we are. I did not add the second coat, as you can see, of the turquoise color, and I still, the gray dried there. So I did go to Home Depot yesterday and pick up the container of gray and the container, the gallon that's going to go on the top walls, the one where you can't really see it. It's really light gray, almost looks white. But with, being busy, I think I said that in my last video that it was going to be a few days before my next video. I want to check inside the garden because I planted all of those seeds and then it rained, I think for 3 days in a row, which is good for the seeds. Hopefully this auto's okay. It's a really super windy day. As you can see, my what is it called? What's this called? This canopy? Whatever. Yeah, that broke. And there's a part that snapped in half, and you can see my tomato cage right there is kind of doing the gangster lean. I have to try to see if I can stand that back up. But like I said, I wanted to see if any of the seeds that I had planted in the ground have germinated. So in this first bed, I don't see any of the watermelon that germinated, but I do see some of the painted pony bush beans have germinated in these two beds. It is a little sparse, so I am going to come back in here and add some more seeds in here. So I'm not seeing any of the watermelon that I've planted in these beds have germinated, but I can see this squash right here kind of needs help holding on to this cattle panel, so I have to do that. And then I do see some of these cowpeas that I planted here have germinated, which makes sense because beans sprout faster. So this is good to see the beans, lima beans and bush beans I planted here, but then again the pumpkins and the melons that I planted here have not germinated. I do see some corn has germinated here, which is good to see. I don't see any of the zucchini or squashes I planted in here that's germinated. Actually, nope. I say that and then look. There's one. So one squash that's germinated here. I don't see any here. A few corn here, which is really not good germination. And some corn germination here, but not good. But what is really good are these lilies. They are showing off. That is beautiful. So I can see in here I'm gonna have to get my tomato clips and clip the tomatoes up again. So okay, have some maintenance to do in the garden. That one has fell over. Y'all, I just walked over here to see what this was. These mushrooms are what is this? Oh my goodness. Whoa. No.
What is that?
I don't, mushrooms obviously, but no. Whoa. I don't know what that is.
Thank you very much.
She just took that. Hey Jade. Wait, no. Get Winter out of here.
Winter, here.
Get Winter out of here. So anyway, if anybody knows what these kind of white mushrooms, I'm not eating them or anything, but I'm gonna have to Google that. That's wild. I was like, what is that? I thought they were eggs. I was like, man, we left eggs in the garden, and then I was like, those are huge eggs, but they're not. They're mushrooms. So I really just can't even believe how big this onion is. It's literally the size of my hand. It's huge. How it's huge, and it's growing right next to another one. Wow, that's amazing. I'm gonna have to pick these onions soon. Okay, I am on my way back inside. No, there's a Bells of Ireland. It's a flower. So I'm on my way back inside. I just wanted to come out here because it's been raining.
It's been raining?
No, it's not going to rain today, but it's been raining, and I wanted to see if any of the seeds had germinated. It makes sense that beans germinated first because they are pretty, beans germinate really fast. So hopefully I'll give those pumpkins and zucchini and stuff like that. I'll give them some more days, water them in since I don't think it's gonna rain, and see what happens with them. So now that we've checked on the garden, I am back in the house. I put on my painting clothes. As you can see, Nehemiah. Hi, Nehemiah.
Hi.
Nehemiah is working on painting this wall right here. I'm going to do the second coat of paint above the fireplace. Today's going to be an inside day. I just asked my son to water the garden for me. So this season has definitely been way different than last year. I want to get my inside done. I want to get the inside of my house done because I have like some things that I want to, events that I want to throw here and stuff like that. And so I definitely want to get the inside all set up. You can walk by. I thought you were like creeping by. I wanted to get the inside all painted and done so that this can be like a checklist off, like off my checklist. Is that how you say it? Who knows? But I know. So someone had mentioned, I think a couple people had mentioned, was I using a paintbrush to paint, you know, the whole thing. I was not using a paintbrush to paint like everything, but I do love to paint with a paintbrush. Nehemiah is actually using a paintbrush just because she's, you know, only 8 years old, and I feel like she has better control with the paintbrush. But if I have to do a second coat, I'll use a roller to do a second coat. And that's kind of like the way I paint, especially with getting the paint in between those lines. Using the brush is really, really hard. You kind of have to like press to get the paint into the lines, but using a brush, you can kind of brush it into the lines, and then when you do a second coat, it's easier to just roll over the paint that way. So that's the way I like to paint. I actually really like to paint with a paintbrush because it's very therapeutic to me. It makes me feel like I am painting like on a canvas. I actually went to school in high school. I wanted to be an architect, and so something about painting for me with the paintbrush always makes me very calm and feels peaceful rather than using a roller brush. I actually really don't like using a roller brush, but I know that you have to. So I'm going to use this roller brush because let's go this way. The paint's this way. I actually don't really enjoy pouring paint inside of like a pan or any kind of container and then like kind of scoop it up, just because I feel like you're wasting paint. I feel like there's always paint left over inside of those containers, and then, you know, you have to like wash it out and stuff like that, and I always feel like you can't get all the paint up and you're wasting paint. And so I actually dip my whole brush into the paint. That's just me. Don't like, you know, I'm not a professional painter at all, but this is just like how I like painting. So don't come at me. This is just how I prefer to paint. I'm gonna probably put this on a time lapse because this paint is so thick. It's like, let me show you. It's like really, really thick. I'm gonna put this, like I said, on a time lapse probably. So I actually only bought a quart of this gray because I figured, oh, I'm only painting the bottom, let's see, the bottom paneling, and it's not, you know, that much area. It's like really just, I guess, one whole wall, like I guess together like two bottom halves, which I guess makes a whole. And I'm just like, oh, I'm just gonna buy a quart of paint, which I did, and there's still some in it, but definitely not enough to do a whole second coat over all of the wall. So I'm actually gonna have to go and get one more can of paint, which is a little like, I should have bought a gallon, but I don't like having leftover paint. I did do the second coat, you guys saw that, of that color, and it looks, Tsunami is that color, and it looks amazing. I'm so happy with the color and how it came out, and I'm really, really happy with how the gray's coming out. I don't like leftover paint. That's what I was saying. I don't like a leftover paint, and so that is why I didn't go ahead with the gallon, because I'm like, if I don't use this whole thing, I don't want to have leftover paint. I'm trying to get rid of the paint that I have now. I have a lot of leftover paint from when we painted our other house, our previous house, so I didn't want to have leftover paint. That's why I only bought a small container, but I'm gonna have to go back to Home Depot, order another small container to do the second coat. I'm just like, it looks so good. I'm so happy with how it is turning out, and I can't wait to have my living room back in order. As you can see, it's a mess right now with having everything all pulled away. Question for you guys. So since I have all of this paneling gray, this wall right here is actually paneling. This whole thing is paneling, but I didn't know how I felt about painting that whole area gray. It's such a big area and that's such a dark gray color, and so I thought about painting it the color that it's going to be up here, which is a light white grayish color. But then I was speaking to one of my friends, and she said that it would probably be okay if I painted this dark color gray here, and then use like sheer curtains to go in front of this window, kind of lighten it up. And then since everything else is kind of gonna be white on the top, or really a light gray, that it might not be so dark, but I don't want this area to be dark. So I need your opinions. You know, should I paint this, you know, the tsunami color? Should I paint it the gray color? Should I paint it the white color? Like, those are my three choices right now. What do you think about this wall? Let me turn you around so you can see better. So this is what I'm kind of talking about. So this whole wall right here is paneling. Okay, right now I stopped the gray right there, but technically if I was doing it all paneling, this whole wall right here is filled with paneling because it was brown, and I would paint this gray if I'm following the rule of painting paneling gray. So should I paint this gray, or should I paint it the top color that's going to be white right now? That's just primer. Or, you know, some people had said, like a friend said, like maybe I could paint it this tsunami color. You guys let me know what you think. Niall actually just came in and bought me this flower from outside. I had already told you guys that I was going to be really busy after I did my last video for the next 3 days, and I was. We are really involved in our church, and I'm starting a youth girls Bible study, and so I was kind of involved in that, and they had a garage sale, and we had friends moving, so it was really busy. I'm still kind of recuperating from the weekend, and so yesterday, which was Monday, I slept the whole day. So today's Tuesday. Hopefully I can get this video uploaded for you guys and out, but if not, it will be out Wednesday. It all just depends on my service out here in the country. My service, it's so slow, so it really my videos only upload when I leave my area and go into the city. But so you guys will either see this Tuesday or Wednesday. I hope you guys are having a great Tuesday or Wednesday. I am going to run back to Home Depot and get the last can of gray paint, and hopefully that takes care of the whole bottom, and then I would have the whole gray with the second coat and the whole top with the second coat. And then definitely don't forget to let me know your opinions on this other window right here. If you guys are following along, you know that I actually didn't finish painting that wall. I've said that in a previous video. And you're probably like, why are you bouncing around your house with paint? I am a little, like some people would probably call it ADHD. I get bored very easily, and so when I'm doing a task, it's hard for me to stay focused on one thing. I go to the next thing without finishing the first thing, and then I go back to the first thing. So that's just me. That's my personality. I'm sorry if it bothers you. If you feel like that I'm jumping around too much for you. That is just why. In case any of you were wondering what happened to my dining room, I still have that one wall to paint, but I was kind of getting bored with it and wanted a change of scenery, and so that's why I started working in my living room. So there's your explanation for you. Like I said, I'll have to see you guys tomorrow. If you're wondering why I'm tired or anything like that, or why I look tired or look different, is because I am tired. So I will see you guys next time. Bye.